Hello, everyone. The 13 Scale here, also known as Scale, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. I'm still doing this on that same night that I had, no makeup on. So y'all are just going to have to deal with more of that for just a bit longer. I wanted to record one more before I went to bed, so that this way I wouldn't find myself in the same situation again later. Anyway, so what transpired, supposedly? All right. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Because, yeah, we went through all of this, right? Okay. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back Sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but they were too close. He missed. The defendant then picked up the opening and took the victim's gun and ended it. So we just pressed a frick load, is what that means. Okay, during the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Follow-up question, why? I know that she was channeling the medium, right? But if you guys believe that all to be hullabaloo, why? Why did she see her chance? What was her chance? What motive does she have? Anyway, there's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. And now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
Objection!
Oh. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling, with the Karain channeling technique, the medium physically changes. Oh, she knows a lot about this for some reason. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Karain channeling technique. Ooh. Like I said before, I am perfect. What were you talking about? I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. All right. Fine. Neither of you explained it to Judgy Wudgykins, my guess. All right. Well, of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back Sir. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterwards I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. That is pretty common for people who donate blood because it's all about the fact that your blood sugar changes for a second. At least I think. And that's why they offer you something to get your blood sugar and blood production up a little bit, which is always something good to keep in mind before you leave after giving blood. Believe it or not, okay, so I haven't given blood, but that's because I have a bunch of problems with giving blood. The number one thing being that I have ridiculously tiny veins that move. It was so bad. I went in for an MRI once, and if you're not familiar, you have to have an IV put in you during the MRI. And, because that's how they get the stuff for the imaging to go in. And they have an IV, or they have a vein finder device that essentially scans your arm and it finds the veins so this way they can stab you in the vein, right? I had professionals who had been in the business for quite a long time at a hospital that I trusted using the IV machine on me to find it, and that still couldn't help them. In fact, it's such a thing because I used to have to do so many blood tests regularly a month because of all the medical problems I had been having. Especially, I'm sure if you guys watched earlier stuff in my channel, with me having all of these problems, that's part of it. So I began to have a preference for giving blood. I promise this is relevant. but I began to have a preference for giving blood, or having them take it for the sake of tests and that kind of stuff. I'd walk in the door and I'd say, "Okay, so I'm gonna have a request, please." And a couple of the nurses would be like, "Okay, I do like when patients advocate for themselves. What?" And I go, "Double tourniquet, black needle, and I'll need a juice box when I'm done." And they're like, "Oh, you've done this a lot, haven't you?" I go, "Yeah, I have tiny veins that tend to move. My brother does too. It's a family kind of thing. I know that the double tourniquet will help make the veins easier to see, and I know for a fact that you're going to have problems if you use the black needle." Which I can tell you what those would be. Or if you don't use the black needle. So the black needle, in case you don't know, is typically the biggest needle in the box for donating blood. I am pretty terrified of needles, not gonna lie to you on that. Despite having a tattoo that feels more like getting a surface level burn, right? That'd be like burning your hand on the stove when you go to grab a pan versus like actively putting your hand into a fire. Like the pain is just different, But the smallest needle in the kit is called the butterfly needle or the blue needle. So because the blue needle is such a small point, people think it hurts less. It actually hurts more because you're concentrating all of the pain instead of spreading it out across the skin in multiple places to separate out the pain. You're pinpointing it directly into one spot, which sucks. But by spreading it out, it hurts less. Secondly, with it being bigger, you'll get the blood out faster and you'll be done. But for somebody like me, the blood in my veins is particularly really thick for some reason, despite the fact that I do nothing but drink water constantly. I even have a limit on the number of pops that I drink in a day. It's 3. So, like 3 cans. Like 3 regular-sized cans. I drink a lot of water. I eat a lot of food with a lot of water in it. I eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. I still have very thick blood in my veins for some reason. So if you use that blue butterfly needle on me, the smallest one in the kit, you could stab me and get into it, but the blood's not going to come out. I don't know why. It just doesn't. So anyway, double tourniquet, black needle, and I have to have a juice box when I'm done, because since I'm getting that blood out super fast, I need to let my body recover before I can safely drive home. And it's that kind of, it's not so much like dizzy that I feel, but lightheaded. Not enough that I think it would actually negatively impact my ability to get home. Not like if I'm drunk or anything like that, but I understand that wouldn't be good to have me behind the wheel of a vehicle. So if you're ever curious if you need to have blood drawn for a test, I would always recommend going with the black needle, which is the biggest one in the kit, and have a juice box when you're done. They do have those on hand because they understand this. Gumshoe 100% should have asked for a juice box when he was done, but I get it. Or a cookie. I guess the damage was about 10 times the dizziness. Sorry. Probably not good to guess. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Hold it! Where in the world did that pistol come from? Yeah, you saw him earlier that day. He didn't have a pistol. And it looks like the victim, Dr. Grayhan, specifically bought it for that day. Weird. Okay. I mean, granted, some places do have hold states. The state of Ohio is not one of them. They used to be, but they're not anymore. So, I don't know. But a handgun. And he got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Whoa. Okay, having a gun with the serial filed off of it is incredibly, I believe, illegal. If I'm right on that one. Additionally speaking, he's dealing with a revolver. Usually those are kind of ingrained into it. Now there are some that are gonna have it like in the base of the grip down here, embedded in. But a vast majority of them in that cylinder that you pop out, it's like stamped in there usually too. Sometimes you'll see it on the underside of the muzzle of the gun. But usually... Well, then again, mine's only in one place. But the point still stands. Like, filing that off... Because usually those are inlaid into the metal. Filing that off on those isn't going to be as easy as if you were doing that on, like... I'm not going to say the name of this brand, but they're famously bad and nobody likes them. Anyway. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? Yeah. I gotta tell you, if I'm going to a channeling to convince somebody to sign something over, I'm not going to be taking a gun with me. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Okay. So you're saying that the bullet hole in the costume was made then? Sorry, pal. But yeah, that's what I think. Two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad that you weren't hurt. Okay. The defendant then picked up the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Oh, this was the right place to press, apparently. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. Usually there aren't safeties on revolvers. Like, usually. Not on hammer revolvers like this one is. Usually in this case, there isn't a safety because they're... Okay. Well, two things. One, if this is a single action pistol, revolver specifically, you have to pull the hammer back and then pull the trigger, which is why they would make it hammer. However, on double actions, that's not always the case. But even then, there's not usually a safety on those. Like, at all. Usually you'd still pull the a double action, which is what I think that this is based on that pin down there at the end. You would just have to pull it, but they usually don't have safeties on those kinds of revolvers. I wonder if that's based on a heritage. I mean, it kind of looks a little bit, maybe like the barkeep. Anyway. Alright, sorry. I know that that's not gonna... I know that has no weight on any of the actual case. But I feel like that's worth pointing out if you unfortunately ever find yourself in the position of Maya, because if it's single action, there's no safety. Anyway, it also means that, by the way, if you don't want to cheddar bob yourself. Anyway, victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Unless it's a single action. Because then you'd have to cock the hammer still to shoot. If you have a hammerless, that's fine. But that's not always the case. That is not always the case. If it was a semi-automatic, sure. Even me, I wonder. Now, do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect, except for that time that I got him killed. This testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere, and I bet you it's not gonna be about the safety. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Alright, first things first, though, we're saving it, because I'm gonna immediately press him on the gun thing. I don't think that that's gonna work. Last was strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up the open... Okay, hold on. Too close and missed. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Used the victim use the last of his strength to fight back. Okay. Okay, so then maybe there isn't anything. What do I have? Okay, malpractice suit. Diagram of the Fey Manor. Magnata. Vance is off the ground. Bullet hole. It's still key. And shot him point blank. Murder weapon was grazed. Fired 2 shots. Knife, blood. While those two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. They were too close and missed. The defendant then picked the opening, the victim's gun, and ended it. Two were fighting, he took his gun. So her chance to stab the victim. I'm not sure which of these is going to be it. Two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Took a shot, but they were too close and missed. Took the defendant's gun on the opening. Got him in the chest and then shot at point blank range. Murder weapon, small fruit, belongs to the Fays, bears Maya's fingerprints. Is it the hole? Shut up, because I feel like something in here. I don't know what. I saved it, so I'm gonna go with this.
Objection!
Oh, the music didn't stop. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I know it didn't go so well. The opportunity. What if I present the gun?
Objection!
No. I was hoping maybe the fact that it had 2 sets of prints and was fired twice. Okay. I gotta load it back up. I can't script that many in a row. Alright, it's the last of his strength. I guess the question... Wait a second. Defendant took the opening. Wait a second. There's no blood by the sleeves, despite there being a bullet hole. If I'm going to be pointing down on you, like this, with my weapon, I'm usually top-handed, but if I'm going to be pointing down on you like this, and I get you, even if your body is dead, there will be splatter back onto my hands, and thus my sleeves. The blood wouldn't be relegated to just the front of her. That's my theory. How do I push this, though?
Objection!
Okay, that's not good enough, I guess. Okay. I need to... Testimony certainly makes us look bad. There's gotta be a contradiction somewhere. You can uncover the truth. It's our chance to stab the okay. I'm not sure what the correct option is here. First, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. Two were fighting. The victim took out his gun, took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. I'm gonna press again.
Hold it!
I'm gonna see if I can get an idea. I had already taken off the safety. Can I present here? No. Even me, I wonder. No, I don't, actually. So I wonder what the I wonder is. Here's the victim's last strength. Two were fighting. He got his gun. The victim took a shot because they were too close. He missed. And here we go. Diagram of the Fate Manor. Channeling chamber. Point blank. Yeah, why not just finish him off with the knife, I guess?
Objection!
Nope, the music's still going. Okay. Look, there's a lot of flaws in this. I get it, but I don't...
Objection!
Nope, that wasn't it. I gotta figure this out. Load. We gotta go back a little. Okay, of course the victim used the last of his strength to fight back while the two were fighting. The victim took out his gun. That anyone could have fired it, though, is my question, I guess. Like, I have a lot of, like, ways to go about this, but I'm not sure which one the game actually wants me to do. Like, at all. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. I don't think that's gonna help with it. It wasn't the report, it wasn't the gun, it wasn't the knife, it wasn't the shirt. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to leave that for next time. I mean, I feel like I have all the pieces mentally to solve this, but I don't know how they want me to lay these out, right? Because the evidence that we have that proves that she didn't do this is that this is not going to line up Especially not with the angle of that hole with the hole that's in her sleeve. That's not gonna happen. The gunpowder residue around the bullet hole makes sense, especially if you get shot from the outside. How do we know that it's for sure the murder weapon? Are we sure this wasn't placed on him after the fact? And also there's no blood on the sleeves, despite even stabbing him, by the way, I should point out. Let's... You know what? Let's present this. Oh, I thought maybe at a different point I'd be able to... Nope. Yeah, I know that didn't go well. First, the victim used lots of his strength to fight back. While they were fighting, he took out his gun. The victim took a shot because they were too close, they missed.
Hold it!
I want to press on this again. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. One more time. I already pressed here. He used the last of his strength to fight back. So he was stabbed, but the wound wouldn't kill him. Blood loss. He would have been dizzy. While the two were fighting, he took out his gun, despite the fact that he's dizzy from blood loss.
Hold it!
He bought it just before, that's right. Took a shot, but they missed. Oh yeah, we just covered that.
Hold it!
One more time. Anyone could do it because the safety's off. I wonder.
Hold it!
This is their chance to stab him. Quite a difference in height, so her body changed.
Objection!
That's right, because she'd looked at the crane school. This is so frustrating because I have all the parts. I just don't know what part to play. Yeah, I just don't know what part to play. All right, well, I'm gonna have to end the episode here because I got no freaking clue. I guess I'll see you guys in the outro. Damn, that sucks. Hey guys, welcome to the outro. So I'm thinking whatever the algorithm says you're gonna like, whatever I think you'll like until the next part comes out. And I put some thought into it. We're gonna do growing up. I had so much fun playing growing up. It's how do I put it? It's literally like experiencing life, but also you have skill points that you can like choose more appropriately. I loved the kids that I ended up playing as in growing up, and I feel like not enough people have talked about growing up. I know it's kind of now like an old game, but I enjoyed it all the same. So that's gonna be my recommendation for right here. I'm also really annoyed I still can't figure out this puzzle for Phoenix Wright, but Maybe if I sleep on it, I'll come up with some ideas. Or some more volume in my hair. Is the fact that I'm not wearing any makeup, I think, is killing my face shape. Not that I don't like how I look normally. I don't think the lighting or like the camera does my face justice with the light and the angle without any kind of makeup, because like the light kind of washes me out a little bit. So like normally without makeup, I'm much prettier. But the light is making it so that all of my worst angles show more. Anyway, oh, remember, drink your water, eat a food, take your pills, and I'm going to bed, everybody. It's 11 o'clock at night. Take care, everybody.